So this is a big section, and I'm creating this section in response to the feedback we've had in our Shopify Facebook group about what people would like to see in the Facebook ads course. So in this section, what I'm going to do is teach you how to split test, show you a lot of different factors you can split test, all of which contribute to your campaign. And basically, we're going to use split testing to work towards optimizing our ad targeting and ad creative, which should, in theory, ultimately drive down our CPC and therefore give us more clicks per pound and therefore more conversions per pound spent. So what you do is basically optimize your budget through split testing several different things, from things on the ad set level to the ad creative level, to work out what works best for you and your audience, and basically how to get more clicks for the same price. So here we go. This is going to be an over-the-shoulder view to split testing. And how split testing works basically is you test one thing at a time and you keep everything else consistent. And this is incredibly important. You can't compare two different ad sets and split test, for example, the image you're using. You cannot split test the image you're using between two different ad sets if there is a number of different differences between the ad sets. If, for example, you're split testing image 1 to 18 to 24-year-olds in the UK, and it's male and female. And then with your second ad set, you use a different image because that's what you want to split test. But you also change your targeting. You're targeting 18 to 24-year-old male and females in the US. They're completely different audiences, and therefore you aren't actually split testing that image. So you have to make sure that everything else to do with the ad and the ad set is consistent, other than the one thing that you want to test. And then you let it run, and then you analyze the data and keep the winner, and then repeat and split test something else using that winner. So let's say we want to test two different images to work out which one works best for our advertising. So we have two different ad sets running at the same time, and we use one image in one ad set and we use the other image in the other ad set. Everything else is exactly the same. If you compare these two ad sets together, they are exactly the same, other than the fact that they both use different images. And we let both of these ad sets run, and you will either let these run for a set period of time or for a set budget. I prefer using budget rather than time. And then you let them run, and then you analyze the results, and you keep whichever image has provided the best results. And then you repeat the process and you use the winning image in the next two ad sets where, for example, you're split testing the age range. So you'll change the age range in ad set 1 to 18 to 24-year-olds, and the age range in ad set 2 to 25 to 34. And you use the winning image, obviously, from the previous split test, and you keep everything else the same other than the age ranges. So that is how it works in essence. You're going to see it in practice in this section. And here's what you can split test. Pretty much everything in your campaign, ad set, and ad creative, from, for example, the campaign, website conversion versus paid post engagement. Which one gets you the most sales? That's a big one. If you're using website conversion ads, then the website conversion optimization. So, for example, whether optimizing for view content or for add to basket or for purchase generates you most sales or most profit. Interest stacking, so basically whether you target broad or whether you target narrow with your interests, or interests in general, really. You can split test all sorts of different interests. For example, you can target an audience where you've narrowed them down by competitor, another where you've narrowed down by celebrities in the niche that you're selling, another by magazines in the niche you're selling, another by TV shows, for example. Another one which is quite interesting is the expanding interests box versus ticked versus unticked. That's quite interesting. Age ranges I've talked about, genders, You split test males and females, who generates you the most profit. Cities only option, enabled versus disabled. So in the locations area in the ad set, you can select, I've shown you this before, you can select whether to target cities only or not. So you can split test that. Video versus image. So which one of these generates you cheaper cost per clicks? Facebook made slideshow video versus an info video versus like Tech Insider, for example. So basically, this is homemade videos which I've done in this course, which admittedly are not very impressive, are very quick to make, and cost nothing. Versus outsourcing to an Upwork freelancer or a Fiverr freelancer who can produce you a really, really impressive video with text overlays and things like that. Stock product image, so like a shot with, it's just got a plain white background, it's just the product, versus someone actually using the product. Using emojis in your copy versus no emojis in your copy. The emoji placement, so whether you use emoji at the beginning of the line or at the end of the line. Now, the difference here may not be great, but it's still something you may want to test. Using a percentage off versus a numerical amount off. I've done this before, and I know other people who've done this who've found that a numerical amount generates more clicks. Long copy versus short copy in your ad creative. The mention of urgency and scarcity, or no mention of urgency and scarcity. So sailing soon, or selling quickly, or not many left, for example, versus not including stuff like that in your ad copy.